Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco once again, and I am here today to review the last episode of Feud, Capote versus the Swans. And this is episode 8. It's called Phantasm Forgiveness. And, let's just say this episode was not very good. There's one thing that I liked about it, though, and in fact, I would go so far as to say that it was one of the better parts of the series because it was very creative to me and it felt like something that was very sad and kind of creepy and haunting, and that was how the show ended. So, but before we get to that, we have to talk about all the crap. It won't be for very long, though, because, I didn't even write any notes, because, I didn't know what the fuck was going on in this episode. After last episode felt like the finale. Both the main characters died, and it was like, okay, what's the next episode gonna be? Oh, it's the year of his death. He's trying to finish answered prayers. And he I guess he goes into this weird mode where, reality and fantasy blend together. And he writes these, I don't even think these are real. I think the writers made them up, but, these fictional, endings. And this finale felt so much like all the American Horror Story finales, where they don't have anything left to do, and all the characters are gone, and they've got to figure out something to do. So they do this kind of sad, ending type of thing. I don't know how else to say it. Dry. I don't know what words would be good to describe it. It's just, it feels like it's cooled off now. When you do a finale, you should be feeling really, really hot. You should be feeling everything is heated up. This is the climax. This is the boiling point, whatever. And this episode, and all the American Horror Story finales for the most part, they all feel like the climax has already happened, and this is the cooling off period. And it's just these really stupid and kind of lame sequences where he's going to each swan who's still alive, and he's apologizing for realsies, and he's kind of making them happy, and it kind of reminded me of Miracle on 34th Street or something, where Santa is talking to all the kids, and he wants to give them the exact toys that they want, and it just felt like that was this episode, him making all these swans happy with he takes Chloe Sevigny on a road trip, and then for another one he does something else, and I was just kind of zoning out, honestly, because I was what is this? This is so this was not necessary. Clearly, I was right with last episode. That should have been the finale. This should have been 5 minutes added on to the finale. Because it's just it did not really add anything, except I guess there's a theory, and we'll get to why there's a theory, because okay, let's just finish what I was saying first. See, I didn't like this episode. I just want to get this over with. So he finishes writing answered prayers, and then we see some flashbacks to his childhood. Jessica Lange is back once again, and that part was kind of disappointing, because honestly, if they had done a whole episode where all it was just a flashback to his childhood and all about the Jessica Lange character, that would have been a much better episode, and then have episode 7 be the finale. That's what I would have done, because we got to see a little couple of hints about the backstory once again, including seeing her kill herself But I wasn't really interested because everything was like a hallucination. I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. And I was just kind of like over it because last week was like the end for me. I mean, I think, and someone else pointed this out too, I think that you could probably skip this episode and you know, you wouldn't be missing anything. And then, like, he goes to have dinner with Jack Dumphy and his boyfriend, and that's fine, I guess, but it just still didn't really feel necessary. It just felt sad and kind of cold, you know, like, and then Truman, his mom, her ghost says that his book sucks and the book should be all about her or something. And so this is the scene that they showed at the beginning of the season. And this kind of felt like they were trying to rip off Oppenheimer because it was the exact same type of thing where like they showed Oppenheimer at the lake at the beginning of that movie and they don't reveal what happens in that scene until the end of the movie, like the very end. And that's exactly what they do here. And so they reveal that he's there with another, I guess, a swan or something. Because, like, I as I said before, I don't know what's real and what's not. I wish we could have just seen the truth. I wish we could have just seen, like, how the swans turned out, what happened to them, maybe, if it's interesting. You know, maybe it isn't. You know, maybe they all just got old and died. Which, you know, that happens. So he has this huge manuscript for answer prayers. It looks like 1,000 pages or so. And he sets it on fire. And apparently, there's a theory going around that he actually finished answer prayers. And he either destroyed it, I guess, or people can't find it. I don't know. Maybe there should be like a movie made, like a treasure hunt movie where people go on a treasure hunt to find the answered prayers and then they just end up finding each other instead and then they fuck each other in the ass. I don't know, like, you know, that'd be pretty good. You know, like, get like Chloe Sevigny again and then get like an actor who kind of looks like Vincent Gallo so that they could kind of reenact the BJ scene from the Brown Bunny movie that I haven't seen yet, which I really like to watch that movie. So if anyone has a copy they'd like to send to me, you know, I'd really like to review that movie. Because that just sounds really bad. The unedited version, like the original version before it was edited for the release, whatever. Anyways, he destroys it, and then we see a couple of minutes from last episode is kind of put in here and kind of sped through, and so that was another kind of indicator that this wasn't really necessary, was that we got to see this footage that we've already seen before, and it just was like, okay, this is like going on for like 5 minutes. And then we see Jack Dumphy react to him not having finished answer prayers. And again, it just doesn't really feel necessary because it's like, you know, he didn't really care by the end. And, you know, he was sad, but like, I don't know. I mean, it just didn't feel necessary. It was kind of like, yeah, this was just padding and filler. But here's where the episode got good. You know, at the very end of the fucking episode. And I know that laugh was horrendous, but whatever. The ending of the episode is very, very disturbing because, you know, I am completely down with selling celebrity items, like selling like pearls or clothing, scream-worn clothing, or, you know, makeup, stuff like that. Like, I'm completely okay with that. But apparently, Julian's sold Truman Capote's ashes, which I feel is highly, highly disturbing. And I feel that they should be investigated for that, and that the people who allowed that to happen should be put in prison for the rest of their lives. And I think that the person who purchased the ashes should also probably be looked into and arrested and put in prison, because I don't think that people should have the right to buy and sell people's ashes. I think that's highly, highly gross and disgusting, you know. And they were saying stuff like Truman would have loved this, and they were showing the auction. And what made it even worse was that the daughter of the abusive boyfriend was there, and she really wanted the ashes. And she was just not able to bid enough money, though. And it was really, really heartbreaking, that scene. And it was just so, like, creepy and cringeworthy. Because, like, honestly, what Julian should have done is they should have taken the ashes and just given it to her. Like, sorry, like, I know you're a money-making, pretentious auction house, but, like, that's not okay. I don't think selling someone's ashes is not okay at all. And so, like, I think that we should raise this issue with the president. Because, I mean, all the president is doing currently is banning TikTok so that people can't make money in America. And so, like, instead of that, like, we should get the president to focus on important issues, like how an auction house sold a human being's ashes. I mean, that is really, really bizarre. Because that's a person, just because they're dead and just because it's ashes, that doesn't mean it's still a person. I mean, I really think there's something there that needs to be looked into. And I'm being dead serious, too. And so that was very, very disturbing. And then all the Swans are there, and they're all dressed in their iconic outfits, and they're all commenting about how bad society has gotten. And honestly, that gave me another idea. I thought, man, I would have loved to have seen an episode where it was just the Swans, the ghosts of the Swans, like, going around New York and, like, just making fun of modern society. Like, maybe making fun of Kim Kardashian and stuff like that, like, just going around and, making fun of everything. Like, I would have loved to have just seen the Swans, like, looking down on America and going, like, what the hell happened here? Like, what the hell? Was there another war and it just completely, people never recovered or something? Like, what happened here? They'll be walking down the street and it's like, oh God, is that a man or a woman? Because they won't know about any of that stuff, or they won't really, and plus they're, Truman said they were racist and whatever, so, they'll be really, really funny to watch. It'd be like Cobra Kai. Okay, I'm pitching that as a series. Instead of since Cobra Kai is ending, we need to have Black Swan Kai, where it's the Swans. They are overlooking the world, and it's just them judging everyone, and, yeah. No, that probably sucked, but whatever. This episode sucked, this finale sucked. It didn't anger me too much because the series overall I thought was pretty good. I would recommend this season highly over, like, Fargo Season 5. I mean, that was a disaster overall. Very, very disappointing. So I would still say that this is the best TV show that I've seen this year so far. And I really, really enjoyed it. I really loved the performances. I thought that the show had a lot of great moments. I'm really thankful that I actually watched it after. I thought that the advertisements did it a disservice. Safi, she said the same thing. She said that all the advertisements, they were marketing the show as as though it was about, like, these are the original housewives. Like the housewives or whatever, these are the original ones. And Safi was like, I don't care about any of that. I didn't even know it was about Truman Capote. And I was like, I didn't either. I was like, what is that they're advertising, this weird soap opera show about the original housewives? Like, I thought that was a really stupid marketing decision. Like, Truman Capote is a very entertaining character. If you marketed it based on Truman Capote, I would have been so much more excited to watch it, and I bet others would have watched it too. Because I don't hear mostly anyone else talk about this, unfortunately. And I think that Phantasm Forgiveness, I am just going to give this episode a C-. And the C- is for that scene at the end at the auction house, which I thought was very, very eye-opening. So please like this video and comment and tell me what you thought of the finale and the season. Overall, like, if I had to give a letter grade for the season, I give it like a B. Because I could still rewatch a lot of these episodes. Just for the performances. I mean, really, really fantastic performances. I really hope that there is some awards recognition here for the performances, not just like the wardrobe and stuff like that. I hope that these actors get their due at the awards shows, whatever, for their sake, so that they don't drink themselves to death like Truman did. And then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest reviews. And no, I am not going to be a jackass, insensitive jackass, and say, like, Truman Capote would have loved this review or something like that. Like, that's only something that a heartless, soulless auctioneer would say when they're selling Truman Capote's ashes. Like, Truman would have loved this. This is like a scene. Like, I don't even know if they actually said that, though, because that just felt so over the top. Like, he would have loved this. Like, what, do they really say stuff like that? Like, when they're auctioning, like, anything? Like, I could see if it was just, like, clothes or fun stuff like that, but even then, I don't think, because I'm thinking if I were in that situation, I would not be enthused or thrilled or excited to watch people bid on stuff like that. That's really, really creepy. In fact, I would probably, the only thing that I would be excited to watch people bid on is like memorabilia, autographs, and stuff like that. That would be totally fine. But if it's like, oh, would you like to buy my underwear? Oh, let's start the bidding off at $100. Oh, $200, $300, $400,000. Marco would have loved this. Like, I'd be really pissed off, and I would use my ghost powers to beat the living shit out of you for doing that. And so, yeah, anyways, the next review is up in the air, actually, because we might be postponing Best Picture Week until next month, just so that it can go along with the Jones Awards, and theme with that, because I will be doing the Jones Awards early next month. So anyways, goodbye everybody, see you soon.